Well, good afternoon, Club 17, and welcome to one more segment of Rotarian Spotlight. And obviously, we're not able to meet in the Hall of Mirrors, and so I've been taking some time to interview certain folks and get to know them better. And hopefully, everyone is enjoying what we're doing here and gets to know our membership even better. So today, I'm really happy and pleased that we have Brent Seelmeyer with us today. So he's with the boys clubs and girls clubs, and a lot of folks know him, but welcome, Brent, excuse me. I have Brent LaBar on my brain. Sorry about that.
No problem. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, you know, Brent and I have gotten to know each other a little bit better over the last 6 months. We've actually spent some time talking about different ways to impact Rotary and move it in the right direction. And I've gotten to know him better and learning about what he's up to and what his organization's up to. So it's been fun getting to know you a little bit better than we have in the past. So for those that don't know, Brent is a road warrior. He travels a lot. He can't make it to all the meetings, but it's always good to see when you're able to make it to the Hall of Mirrors. So
thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe a little bit about your family, your career, maybe some of your hobbies and interests, maybe even a fun fact about yourself. How's that?
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, I'm not a native Cincinnatian. You know, when I first moved to the area almost 20 years ago, hard to believe, you know, I was kind of taken aback when people would ask, you know, where'd you go to school? I thought they meant college and they meant high school. So, but I've been in the Cincinnati area now for 19 years and loved it. I really do love it. This is home now. But I moved here from Tennessee, grew up in Tennessee, did my undergraduate at the University of Tennessee, did my master's at Xavier here. But I live in Madeira with my awesome wife, Abby, and our adorable 11-year-old daughter, Charlotte, who is now in 5th grade at Madeira Middle School, and our dog, Roxy, who just turned 3 last week. So I've spent my entire career, 22 years now, in the nonprofit or higher education arena. You know, we also include in our family, I should have mentioned this earlier, but we include in our family an awesome young man. He's 19 from Avondale. His name is Quadri, and we actually met him through the Boys and Girls Club, the U.S. Bank Club in Avondale. So he's a freshman at Wright State, majoring in mechanical engineering, and we're just super proud of him. As far as, you know, hobbies and interests, I love to travel. I actually lived abroad for 5 years of my life. I'm completely bilingual. I speak Spanish fluently. And I like to play golf. I'm not a very good golfer, but I do enjoy getting out and hitting the ball around a little bit. But my real passion outside of my career, I would have to say, is music. I've been playing drums and singing since, well, probably at least 30 years, probably closer to 35 years when I think about it, gosh. So real active in the music scene, play with a couple other guys locally, and it's always been a huge passion of mine.
That's got to be a lot of fun. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
it is. It's a huge. I got to tell you, the week before last, we were going to play in this over in Pleasant Ridge in this neighborhood, just for the neighborhood, and it was raining, so we ended up moving into a friend of mine that I play with named Brian moved into his garage, and this is before the social distancing really got serious. So, you know, all of the neighbors, kids, parents, they all stayed 6 feet apart, but they all came out, and it was just a huge uplifting moment. I think it was therapeutic, not only for them, but honestly for the 3 of us that were playing. We played for 2.5 hours, and you know, we plan to do it again once things start to get a little bit, you know, lighter out there, so to speak.
Well, we may invite you to play in front of the Rotary Club. You just never know.
That'd be fun. I have played with the Rotary Chorus. I did play drums on once. This is like 1.5 years, 2 years ago now. But yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Well, I know we've talked a little bit about your passion for the University of Tennessee. So and tell me a little bit about that, and I'm going to surprise you with something here in a second.
Okay. Well, so I went to boarding school for high school and started playing lacrosse, and went off to a small liberal arts college my freshman year to play lacrosse. But unfortunately, I tore up my knee and kind of ended my lacrosse career pretty early. So I went home that summer, and I was kind of really down about it. And my grandfather, kind of sat me down, and he encouraged me to consider transferring to the University of Tennessee, and I did, and I had an amazing experience. Peyton Manning and I both were there from the same day to the same day. I'm a year older, but I was a transfer, so he was a freshman when I arrived in the fall of '94, and then we actually graduated together in December of '97. So got to spend a lot of time with Peyton Manning. That's when Tennessee was really good in football, unlike the last decade, but our girlfriends were sorority sisters. We actually used to go on double dates together. So, when you're in college during the '90s, when Peyton Manning is your quarterback, it's kind of hard not to become a super passionate fan.
Well, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame next year. I think that it'll be his first opportunity to get in next year. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly, and I want to show everybody what kind of a passionate fan that Brent is. Look at those pants. I mean, those are priceless. I had to do that to you, Brent. Sorry.
Hey, I'm proud of those pants, man. Each one of those squares is individually stitched. It's not a print.
That's funny. So tell us a little bit about your Rotary experience so far, and some of your fondest memories.
I have a little bit of an unusual Rotary story because I first became a Rotarian when I was 23 years old. I joined the Rotary Club of Oak Ridge in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, right out of college, actually. And it was a really, really good club. Oak Ridge is a town of about 50,000, and we probably had 80 to 90 members. Good sized club for a town that small. And had a great experience with Rotary. I'd actually gotten to know a couple of the Rotarians. I think I brought the average age down by at least 15 years when I joined the club. I was by far the youngest member, and stayed active for about 3 years until I got promoted and moved to a different county. So I was not a Rotarian again until 2011 when I joined the Cincinnati Rotary Club. So I have a lot of many fond memories, especially in our club, whether it's the Rotary picnics that I've participated in. Last year, the winning lip sync competition team with the Rotary Chorus when we did Bohemian Rhapsody, which was awesome. The Condon school parties are always special memories for me, but probably more than anything, I think it's just the relationships, the friendships. I consider some of my very best friends in the world to have been introduced to me through Rotary. So I definitely don't think I would have as many wonderful friends in Cincinnati as I do if not for the Rotary Club.
That's amazing, especially when you have Peyton Manning as a friend, to be able to say that as well. So, well, obviously we're going through some challenging times with the COVID-19 crisis, and as I mentioned, you're working for the boys clubs and girls clubs. So tell me a little bit about how that crisis has impacted your organization and how you're managing through that.
Yeah. So in my work, my most recent job was as CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Cincinnati, which ironically, you may not know this, was actually founded by our Rotary Club back in 1939 by the Chief of Police and the Cincinnati Rotary Club. So I was the CEO of the local organization for about 5.5 years, and then joined the national team a little over 2 years ago. And I just have to tell you, like so many sectors, in our economy, the nonprofit sector is just getting absolutely decimated right now with the COVID-19 pandemic. To give you a sense of scale, Dave, and all our fellow Rotarians out there, each day, on a normal day, we would have about 500,000 young people walk through the doors of their local Boys and Girls Club, and today about 366,000 of those are not able to do that. We've lost in terms of employment, we've lost about 13,000 employees across the country, which is a little more than 20%. We've lost probably $120 million plus in local revenue already, which is significant. And you know, so the way it's really impacted our movement, if you will, is significant. But I'm really happy to share that you know, Boys and Girls Clubs, we've been around 160 plus years as a national organization. We've served kids across America through good times and through times of adversity. You know, I believe that we're a part of the fabric of America, if I'm being honest. And so I've been really happy to see through my consulting work with clubs across major metro markets in the Midwest and in the Southeast that you know, clubs are being very resilient. Our local organizations are providing services to the children of essential employees in several states, including here in Ohio. The governor has come to the local clubs and said, will you know, we will help support you with some public funding if you will serve the young people for our first responders. So, you know, we have over 400 clubs across the country doing that work. We also had a lot of ingenuity around virtual programming. You know, a lot of our young people are being served. They can't come to the Boys and Girls Club, but we are still serving them and helping them with their academics, helping them lead healthy lifestyles, and certainly focusing on good citizenship and character through our virtual programming. And then meals, that has been a huge part of what we've been doing. We have, I think something like 1,100 sites are providing meals to kids who otherwise would be going hungry right now. So, you know, there are real critical issues for young people. You know, there's going to be significant learning loss due to schools being closed all around the country, and a lack of access to technology or having technology capabilities in their homes. You know, a lack of supervision and resources is definitely, we're seeing, unfortunately, a real spike in child abuse and neglect across the country, particularly in neighborhoods that are at risk with poverty and those issues already. And then, you know, there's definitely, we're seeing an increase in mental health issues based on our quote unquote new normal right now. So the impact has been really, really tremendous. And, you know, I think, you know, one thing we have to be cognizant of is that at the end of the day, you know, there's going to be a significant number of nonprofit charitable organizations that may not survive COVID-19. And so how do we position ourselves to lean in and fill some of that void in communities where the kids really need us most?
Well, you know, having to hear you say all that, I think that you, as well as a lot of other leaders in that organization, are very well positioned to figure out how to pull yourselves up by the bootstraps and make it all work out long term. Obviously, you're in a different boat than a lot of other organizations that don't have that wherewithal. But and I think from a Rotary perspective, I really think that once we're on the other side of this crisis, that I think there's some collaboration that our club can have with the local boys clubs and girls clubs, and Brent and I've talked a little bit about that, but I'd love to see us do some things along those lines and try to enrich some of the lives of the kids that really need it. So
absolutely,
I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. And I'm sorry that I showed your volunteer pants, but I thought I just had to do that today. I thought it'd be a good dose of laughter that we could bring into this. So, but thanks so much, and look forward to seeing you sometime very, very soon. And all Rotarians, can't wait to see you back in the Hall of Mirrors as fast as we possibly can. So take care, everyone.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you, everybody.